What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, rocking the Fortnite shirt. And time for another movie review. Just got done watching Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. One that I always saw like advertisements for on other VHS tapes that we had, and then we eventually got it over after time. And growing up with this one was kind of crazy for me because I've always had a thing for romance in animation ever since I was little. And the whole Scooby and Shaggy and the whole Amber and Crystal thing that's in this movie, we'll get to that in a minute. That was a big plus for me for this movie, so I'm factoring that in when I do my rating. So, here's the thing about this movie. It does a similar thing. I like that for once they're not dealing with monsters, but aliens, which is always an interesting concept. Let's go with the designs of the aliens. I want to talk about that real quick. The designs of the aliens, the fake aliens, I'll get into that in a minute. The fake aliens look pretty interesting. For a little bit, for some reason, they remind me a tad bit of the aliens from Mars Attacks. I've actually never seen that movie, but I know what they look like. For some reason, I don't know why that triggered my memory of that. Maybe because I watched the Nostalgia Critics review of that movie about a month ago. So, maybe that's why I thought about that. Don't know. Pretty sure this came out before Mars Attacks, so I don't know why that's... Okay, I'm just going to drop that whole tangent. But no, this movie actually is pretty interesting because it brings back something from The Witch's Ghost, which was the one before. Wait, was it? Yeah, Witch's Ghost. The one before this one. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It brings something back from The Witch's Ghost that I actually really liked with The Witch's Ghost. Was the fact that there is a fake, well, in this case, aliens going on, and then there turns out there's real aliens, but the real aliens aren't bad. So, there are kind of two storylines that wind up getting intertwined in this movie. So there's the normal, like the Fred, Velma, and Daphne are going on doing their little investigation, and Scooby and Shaggy meets these girls, Crystal, which is a human, and Amber, which is a dog, which you would think that the names could be swapped. And they wind up working with them to try to figure things out, and then Fred, Velma, and Daphne are over there trying to figure their things out. And here's the thing, I like more being with the Scooby and Shaggy side of this story. Unlike with the other ones, when we're not with them, we still have some fun. The parts with without Scooby and Shaggy aren't really as entertaining. Because really with the bit of the gang, you don't get really any interactions with the aliens until they're revealed as fake later, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But with Shaggy and Scooby, I think this is one of their best roles is in this movie because there's so much fun watching them in this one. Like, I'm laughing the whole time, and it's like Scooby and Shaggy are just a whole bunch of fun with this one. And the new characters that are thrown in here, some of the townsfolk that are in this desert town, and Crystal and Ember, they're all nice characters. There's nothing really... They're such a unique band of characters. There's this character, Lester, who is like the crazy kook of the town, or the so-called crazy kook of the town. There's this mechanic who's not really in the movie, but he's an interesting character. There's this waitress who's not a very interesting character. And they throw this little thing to try to throw you off about who the actual bad guy actually is, and it's not the best. Like, it's legit, like, not really a good mystery. because you kind of get the fact that as soon as they show these characters, you know who's the bad guy and who's the one behind it. So we're gonna get into spoiler territory. So it turns out that Crystal and Amber are actually aliens, and since they're they're actually good aliens, just set on a mission from their planet to observe Earth or something like that, which is really cool. And their designs are really interesting. I really like their designs. I'm glad they didn't go with like some weird green design or the weird like big black eyes, the weird shaped head, typical aliens. So I really do like their design. And I'll tell you one thing, Scooby has like this little relationship throughout the movie with the dog where she doesn't like him at first, and it is very funny how like she gets like throwing Scooby off and he's just like, oh, but I love you. And there's a musical number in this movie about Shaggy singing about how he wants to be with Crystal and all that. It's really, really sweet. And I'm like, I remember when I was younger watching this movie, I would go back and rewind the tape and watch that again. Because I've always been a sucker for romance in animation. Not really in live action for some reason. Like, I'm cool with it in live action. For some reason in animation, like when I first was watching Phineas and Ferb back in the day, and saw the crush of Isabella and Phineas, I was like, I love that and all that. I saw a bunch of fan theories and stuff like that online, and that's getting off topic. But the thing is, that's the main thing I really like about this movie. The alien concept is actually really interesting. I wish more could have been done with it, because a lot of the stuff that doesn't seem believable, because they said they were using helicopters and they had a thing built, and a lot of the stuff is revealed. I'm like, really? I don't care if this is a cartoon, really? Because a lot of the time the Scooby-Doo things, they seem like, yeah, these are fake things, but they could possibly be done in real life. But like this one was like, you would not be able to trick somebody, I don't think. I really don't think you would be able to trick somebody with this. And I feel like I don't know, something about that rubbed me the wrong way while I was watching this movie. I'm like, really? Well, I was rubbed the wrong way a little bit throughout some of this movie. But don't get me wrong, I do like this one. This one was a lot of fun, and I don't know if it's nostalgia blindness, but a lot of it holds up. This one does have its problems. Like, it's got its problems. I probably don't like this one as much as Zombie Island, and I'm not even sure if it's up there with, this is probably out of all of them, this is probably the third best. I don't know, really. I don't know how to. One day I need to go through a whole video ranking these movies, even though there's a lot of them. But we have, I think, 2 more to do after this one. I'm going to have my overall rating a 4 out of 5 because I had some problems with it. But overall, I had fun with it. These Scooby-Doo movies are always fun, and they're just like a lot of fun to have, man. I believe the next one is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. And then I think it's the live-action Scooby-Doo movie. I think. There might be one before that, but we'll see. I don't remember. But I know Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase is actually how it loaded up on the TV right now. I'm about to watch it. But yeah, so the Scooby-Doo movies are starting to become a bit of a mixed bag. Like, so far, really none of them have been terrible. Like, so far none of them have been like, burn it with fire. And none of them have been like, this is terrible, this movie shouldn't exist. The only one, what I'd say the worst one so far was Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights. But literally, one I want to point out about that, I know that I shouldn't bring this up in this video. For some reason, that one was never really marketed as a Scooby-Doo movie, but like if you buy it or something, it's Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights. So that's why it's included in these reviews. I guess since the main thing is Scooby-Doo and they're telling the story, I don't want to get into that. But this is a good movie. I actually had fun with it. This is a very enjoyable movie. It's a good Scooby-Doo movie. Definitely if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, you'll have some fun with it. Okay, so next up is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, and I can't wait to see if it holds up. Because I remember liking this one as well. I hope it holds up. I hope my mind doesn't change on it like some movies have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!